This is the story of a world at war and of black excellence.
Jesse is a clear threat to Hitler's Aryan ideology.
Owens was snubbed by Adolf Hitler.
If you were black, you recognize that type of disrespect.
He used to say he didn't go to shake hands with Hitler. He went there to run, and run he did.
When it really comes down to it, it is the most simplistic thing. Who's faster?
Triumph, Jesse Owens in the Berlin Olympics. Premieres Wednesday, June 19th at 8, only on the History Channel.
Andre, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. Jeff in Las Vegas. Thank you for joining me this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Your new documentary, your three-part series, Triumph, Jesse Owens at the Berlin Olympics on the History Channel, airing June 19th and on history.com. You know, Jesse Owens, one of the most famous Americans and moments in American history, standing up to the Nazis on the world stage in 1936 Olympics. But now it's time to learn about the man himself, right?
Yeah, that was the point. That was the opportunity. You know, we hear these amazing stories of our great heroes in America, especially, but really don't know a lot about who they were as people. And that's always the first place that I go as a storyteller and as a filmmaker is to their children, to their husbands or wives or whoever is still around that really knew who they were when they came home, after work, so to speak, who they were when they woke up in the morning for breakfast and who they were when they went to bed at night. And so we get a real glimpse of that from this film.
So in the 1930s America, Jesse Owens is a second-class citizen, but then Charles Riley sees potential in Jesse. He mentors him. He's another father figure to Jesse, isn't he?
He is. He used to call him Pop Riley, actually, and his children used to call him Pop Riley. That's how they used to affectionately refer to him as that he was this other father figure in his life that really was the father figure for his athletic abilities. Jesse had these natural talents that needed to be nurtured, and Pop Riley was the one who was there to nurture those, and did some really used some really interesting tools in order to train Jesse Owens, which included running to music and running against horses and all types of things like that, to really kind of train him into being the man that he was.
And you had conversations with Jesse's daughters, firsthand interviews with family, journalists, historians. So as a documentary filmmaker, were the family on board with this special?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were from the very beginning. They were very excited about it. It was something we started talking about a couple of years ago, and they were excited to finally have it, come to fruition. And they've been part of, every Jesse Owens story that's been told, everything from the narrative feature film Race to certain Jesse Owens documentaries that were on PBS and things like this. But really, this was the opportunity to make the definitive documentary about Jesse Owens on the History Channel and they've been great partners of ours on several projects. So they were Marlene and Beverly Owens, that's their names, the Jesse Owens' daughters that live in Chicago, and they were just darling. They were just wonderful to talk to, and shared pictures that they had, family pictures that we hadn't seen that are in the film, and stories that we had never heard that you can't read in a history book or on Wikipedia or anything like this. They were just, very, very human and kind and wonderful throughout this whole process.
And the great Don Cheadle is the narrator of the special and also, throughout the documentary. How did he get involved? He's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, mine too. It's funny. I've been friends with Don Cheadle and his wife for many, many years, and had been dying for the opportunity to actually finally work together, and called him about doing this, and he was on board, to narrate this story and actually play the role of Jesse Owens. A lot of the narration actually comes from Jesse's autobiographies and come from his letters that he wrote to his wife and to his children and things like this. So yeah, it was a great opportunity to finally work together.
And finally today, as a documentary filmmaker, what was that one moment for you during this special? That one question, footage, or particular story or fact? Did you have an aha moment that that happened while you were researching or producing this?
Yeah, I did. I was, I'd mentioned how Pop Riley was actually training Jesse Owens to run against horses, when he was using some of his interesting and, excuse me, unusual training tools. But what I was surprised to learn was that after Jesse Owens had gone to the Olympics, won 4 gold medals, made all of these accomplishments, came home to a ticker tape parade. He was actually, banned from competition because he had left the post-Olympics tour that was going around Europe that he was forced to do for free. So when he did come home, he was relegated in many regards to actually going and doing some of these things like running against horses or doing things that would amount to kind of circus tricks in order to pay the bills. All of these promises that he was kind of made as a young athlete didn't come to fruition. So it's disheartening, but it's also an opportunity for us to see what it takes to triumph over that type of despair.
Well, congratulations on a great documentary. And I have to say real quick, the great Richard Pryor wrote one of my favorite lines in the movie Blazing Saddles when he says, "And my next impression, Jesse Owens." And I remember as a kid seeing that movie, I'm like, what does that mean? And then I found out, later, but I just think that's one of the great, he's always going to be there, not only just standing up to for America and the world for decency, but also just one of the greatest lines in one of the greatest comedies ever.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's here now for us to be able to see. And we're so excited to be able to tell this story.
It's fantastic. Congratulations. Again, it's on the History Channel, airing June 19th and on history.com. Andre, thank you so much, buddy. And let's talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.